In this video we're going to look at the most tricky type of question you might get asked in terms of solving quadratic equations graphically, and these are quite difficult. Okay, so what we're going to do is this: we're going to solve this equation at the top using the graph that we drew in the previous video. So this is the graph that we drew, x squared minus 2x minus 3. That's the graph, that's the green line there. And we're going to solve this equation here at the top. Now you might be thinking, how on earth are we going to do that? Because these two things don't even look alike. I mean, there's an x squared, they have that in common, but there's a minus 4x and a minus 2x there, and a plus 1 and a minus 3. This graph, the green one, has no connection to the question itself. I mean, how are we going to solve that? And by the way, when we solve these equations, we're going to get an estimate for the answer. So we're not going to get the exact answer, we're going to get an estimate for it. Now, it's a bit tricky to understand. And okay, let's talk about how to do that. Okay, so we need to somehow take this equation and actually modify it and somehow incorporate x squared minus 2x minus 3 into it somehow. Okay, so we need to somehow kind of get something that has, we need to change that into something that has this here with it. Okay, so okay, what we do is we start with the question itself. Okay, and I'm just going to copy it here. And what we need to do is somehow morph this, turn it into x squared minus 2x minus 3. But it might not necessarily equal 0, it might equal something else. Okay, so how do we turn this equation into that? Okay, well, first of all, they already have x squared in common, so that's fine, we don't need to do anything there. The minus 4x, we need to turn it into 2x, and in order to do that, okay, well, what do we need to do? Well, we need to add 2x to it. Okay, but remember how equations work. Whatever you do to one side, you've got to do to the other. So I've got to add 2x to the other side. Okay, so far I'll have, okay, let me do it in red. I'll have x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 2x. Okay, so if we look at what we've got so far, we've got the x squared, we've got the minus 2x. We just need to get that plus 1 into minus 3. Okay, so how do I turn plus 1 into minus 3? Well, I need to take away 4. Okay, but if I take away 4 from one side, I've got to take away 4 from the other side. Okay, so now I will have x squared minus 2x. 1 take away 4 is minus 3, but on the right hand side I'll have 2x minus 4. Okay, so look at what we have here now. We have got the graph, so we got the equation that we've been working with, so this one, so that's the green line, that's y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3, but on the right hand side we've got something else, we've got 2x minus 4. Okay, so what we need to do is look at what we did in the previous question and just solve this equation here. So in order to solve this equation graphically, we've already got the graph of x squared minus 2x minus 3 already drawn, so we've already got this side drawn. We just need to draw y equals 2x minus 4 on top. And when we solve this equation, so when we solve this one, we're effectively solving the question because they're equivalent to one another, because we stuck to the rule of how you solve equations. Whatever you do to one side, you've got to do to the other. So if we solve this equation, so if we solve this one, so if we solve that, we're effectively solving this. Okay, so all I need to do is draw the graph of y equals 2x minus 4. Okay, so let's kind of draw that graph on top of this one. Okay, so first of all, the intercept, because it's a straight line graph, it's just 2x minus 4, it's a straight line, y equals mx plus c. The intercept is minus 4, so on the y-axis it's going to go through minus 4, so I'm going to plot that point there. And the gradient is 2, but what I'll do is I'm going to sub in a number. Let's sub in two numbers. Let's sub in x equals 2. So x equals 2 means y equals 2 times 2 minus 4, that equals 0, so it goes through there. Okay, let's sub in one more, x equals 3. So y equals 2 times 3, take away 4, that's 6, take away 4, that's 2. So, okay, 3, 2 is going to be, okay, I'm going to just delete some of this working out. So that was x equals 3, y equals 2. So that is 3, 2 is roughly here. And if you want to be kind of extra sure, then plot an additional point. Okay, so let's kind of draw a line through those. Okay, let's make the line narrow. Okay, so I think the grade, I think it looks something like that. Let's be accurate. Okay, right, so there you go, there's the graph. Okay, it's not perfect, is it? Let me just see if I can just change the angle a little bit. Move that maybe a little bit more there. Okay, it's very hard to do on this. Right, but okay, so now we want to solve this equation. We just need to find out where these two graphs intersect one another. So here is roughly one answer. Okay, so that's going to be x equals, let's see, 3.246, and there's 8. Very close to 3.8, isn't it? So, okay, let's do it to 3 decimal places. So 3.775 maybe, 2 decimal places, sorry. Okay, and then the other one is here. And if we go up, okay, so you do this with a ruler and a straight line. So that's 0.2, 0.4. So it looks like 0.25 maybe, okay, or 0.3. It's 1 dp. Right, so these are the two answers, but okay, so you need to think about what we've done. We've solved this equation. So we solved that equation, but that equation is equivalent to the one we're asked to solve graphically. Okay, so let's see how close these two are to 0. So what we'll do is we'll sub them in. So x equals, let's do this one here, 3.75. 3.75 squared minus 4 times 3.75 plus 1. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so on the calculator it gives us 0.0625, okay, 0.06, which is pretty close to 0. The thing is though, I've done it on my kind of like computer and it's not very accurate, but on a nice kind of graph paper where you can draw the graph really big, you can get a closer answer to the 0. But that definitely is one solution to 2 decimal places, okay, and a rough solution. And this is another rough solution to kind of 2 decimal places, and this will also work as well. Okay, so that's kind of like the hardest type of problem you're going to kind of get on these kind of like solving quadratic equations graphically. Now you need to kind of look at practice and doing some questions on this. Okay, thank you for watching.